2016, Venus went 0 Virgo, goes into Leo. So by July 25th, 2016, it's gone into Leo. It's retrograde 2959. Here it is, July 25th, 2019. It's at 2353. Here it has 52, 53. Oh yeah, 8 degrees. So it was just in that period. It turned around just now. The whole retrograde period was reevaluating from as she took the astrology classes as being retired. What am I doing next? What's worthwhile? It means there's a really deep working going on in her being. And it goes direct, it gets out of Virgo, it goes back into Virgo June 15th, 21. So just in this immediate time, it's going through this 8 minutes of the last degree of Leo. The sun is going through the last degree of Virgo. Okay, they're both about to shift. Okay, but an interesting thing happens here, which is what I wanted to point out with I Ching and with the pentans and subpentans. The Venus is going through 64, hexagram 64. This is before completion. Whereas this completion, there's little things not done. You can't quite let things down. You have work to be done, but you're before the completion, but you're seeing the completion, but it's before it. And inside of that is the theme of the army, which is a Virgo theme. It's the army implies waiting for orders or being receptive to the demands of the time happening at work. There's all the receptivity to things going on. What do I have to do? So there's a challenge with that. It's in line 1. And inside of that, so this is for this whole period of this 16 to 21 of Venus. And Pluto is going through hexagram 13, which is the hexagram of fellowship with men. It's the last point of the Pisces. It's the most transforming point, where things are about to turn into complete light, into the Aries. It goes into the Aries where the light wins. There's more light than darkness. So that's a big shift, and the light is changing so fast at that point. But here it's in hexagram 13. It's going through lines 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it goes up and backwards, or it goes backwards and up. So then it's in these lines. But if we go back, I wanted to show something strange that's happening here. With the progressed sun, it's not starting after completion, but it's starting in the hexagram army line 1. It's in the same place on the subpentan as the other is on the main degree. So it says it's hexagram 13 line 2 when it hits the IC. It hits it, but it's Virgo, Pisces, Pisces, and then revolution molting inside of it. This is the themes of the IC. But if we're going on the line 2, would have happened in 2016 and would be happening in 2020 when Venus, progressed Venus, went through that same point in the same hexagram. It's just so the 3 hexagrams, like the difference is the Venus, it's in Leo, so it has the first hexagram 64. But then the next 2 are the same, the pentan and the subpentan, Virgo, Pisces. Whereas the progressed sun is going through a Virgo, Pisces, Pisces. It has the same message. They're both aligning in a certain way around the teachings of what they're going through. It's a subtle, you might say, a symbolical reinforcement of similar possibilities, but that they're aligning like this, it pulls them together. What am I motivated to? What do I want? And that's being decided. The sun's in Virgo, but the Venus is in Leo. Then it comes out of Leo. And just as it comes out of Leo, the sun's going into Libra. So the Venus goes into Virgo, ruled by Mercury, but the sun's moved on to Libra, ruling the Venus. So she's going to start being motivated by what she wants. She's going to find what she wants more than she ever did at any other time in her life. It's changing her priorities. So this, to me, leads to a really successful, what am I going to do after I'm retired? Well, I got another life to live. That's what it is. It doesn't make sense outwardly, but it certainly does inwardly. And there's enough experience in life, enough confidence. She's done the family, because she's done this. It's her turn. Why wouldn't she do the thing she wants? Even if it's a little shocking to the people she used to know. Okay, so, yeah, I wanted to take some time to read some of these hexagrams. I could leave it, but I think I will, just because it's okay, we're going to need the winter, we're going to need the summer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the one that's, here we go. Okay, go to, this is looking at the I Ching book, the I Ching hexagrams. We've got to find after completion, which is just, you know, before completion, that's where we are. Okay, so we've got, I mean, it's enough. We've got enough. We see the things going on. And we're at a place where we've done a very thorough sense of being able to relate to a person astrologically and from their chart and that. There's no more pieces of information to add into it. We could add little things into it. We got the main thing sifted through. And the texture's got in the puzzle between the sun on the IC and the Saturn going over the descendant to go up to the midheaven. So even though personally she's going through this great depth, what's she doing out there? You know, as Saturn hits the midheaven, she's getting stronger more personally. So if she could work it so she starts working and working outwardly on her inner things and putting it out in the world, that will align the progressions to the transits. And that will really make the most out of it. If she fights the two and keeps them as two separate worlds, then she'll build up to do the working, and eventually Saturn will go through the 12th house and she'll have to come back into these things again. They're going on anyways. So I don't see that really as the option. I think it's the option of having to turn the hobbies into the careers, the IC. Live your motivation, live your integrity, instead of taking care of everything, improving things just to have your security. This is an inner security, an inner confidence. Okay, so the hexagram, we'll just read pieces of it. Fire above, water below, lightning in a storm, clarity without and discrimination within. What is appropriate is obvious. One can be intolerant of the smallest faults. The challenge is to improve one's own character before questioning the character of others. So it's not about how stupid all the people in business were or how the world sucks because it's I have to retire. It's more like I got something to change in me. Surrender to the greater good. Inappropriate action cannot be maintained for long. At a time of holding together, examine problems. A time of holding together, examine problems. Let need determine the action. One must be worthy to take the lead. When words must be heard. The strong need guidance. Even the strong need guidance. And the judgment is clarity without doubt within. One's inadequacy becomes apparent. To succeed, one must work on the roots of character. Good intentions are not enough. If one does not practice what one preaches, humility will soon follow. One can see the danger. One is challenged to take the right approach. She's changing inward. This is her Venus. Her values are changing. Now they've changed and she's going to have to live up to them. It's a tall order. It's challenging. The Pluto on the ascendant, it's challenging. How can I do that? Well, it's changing her whole identity. It's a healthy change. It's about time, is what Pluto's saying. Saturn's saying, wait a second. No, it's about time. She's right there. It's going on. Anything that reinforces her inner confidence and the inner depth is a good thing, even if she has some disenchanting looks at what she set up out in the world. But really, what she set up in the world should be able to take care of her, to take care of these inner things. Okay, and we want to look at, it's line one. So we're just going to look at the one line, which is the specific focus within this period. One thinks that one knows, but lives in darkness and cannot see properly. There are problems, but one does not act to fix them. Misfortune will accumulate. So that's the emotional worry, all the things going around. Difficulties accumulate. There will be much criticism. One must be ready to join forces with others if the problems are to be fixed. One starts slowly, one holds back and says nothing. If nothing is given, nothing will be gained. So these are the Venus puzzles inside it. So this is the theme for this little phase. It's only for 2016 to 2021 in Venus, the inner world. Now, inside of that theme, I want to go to the next one because here's where we start doubling up. And I'm just going to get the next one here into, oh, no, it's still summer, right? Still on the same one. I go down to, okay, so this is in the hexagram 7 line 1, which is the army. I'm trying to rename these astrologically so they can be more appropriate astrology. These are named for divination, which are useful for divination, but they're a little too negative to use the names for astrology, although I have been. I'm trying to really associate this. This would be receptive to demands. There's difficulties, to be receptive to the difficulty, seeing the problems and having to work on it. Earth above, the abyss below, yielding without, critical within. The outside's changing. I'm changing. I'm critical inside. Boy, is it changing. A little movement can lead to a big collapse. Receptive to criticism and danger. There is much that can be improved. One must work with others to fix the little things. It might tie up the family. It might be one of the kids. Ears wide open, receptive to danger, ready to act. The odds are against you. Do not underestimate adversity. That's the outside things. Take care of the small things at the beginning. This is not the time to be critical of others. You are bound together in danger. Don't complain. Strive to make improvements. No room for grand gestures. All for the Leo. It's in the little things that matter. So this is a Virgo theme, the Virgo pentent inside the Leo. It's a critical side. The judgment. So this is the Venus. It's not the Sun. This is the Venus. It's not on the IC, but it's the Venus turning around emotionally. What's real? Evaluating what I had said, what I wanted outwardly. What's growing inside? Am I good enough inside? Can I do this? These questions are there. Can one maintain virtue when no one else is? Can one maintain integrity when no one else does? Insecurity within will find no support without. Okay, the interesting thing is this critical thing is where the Sun is the hexagram the Sun is in this point. Insecurity within will find no support without. Strength within will find no support without. In such situations, one must hold on to duty. If one is healthy and no one else is, one must face the danger and help. If one is capable and no one else is, one must get involved. To accept inertia will lead to failure and guilt. Strength of character is essential. If one does not hold on to what is right, one will deserve what one gets. Okay, so this issue of what is right. She has her Sun square Neptune in her natal chart. I don't want to be wrong. But what if, often we have to do things out in the world before we learn, before our inner spirit wakes up. So this is a really big transformation around this. We go to the line 1, just see what the line 1's saying. Humble duties. One must be content to take care of little things. Small improvements will make the difference. Do not complain. Strong fellowship. Great momentum. Do not overestimate your own importance. Take care of the little things, and the big things will take care of themselves. She's used to take care of the big things outwardly. Now she's having to take care of the little things inwardly. One feels inadequate and hesitates in the face of danger. One must find worthiness within and hold together with one who is dutiful and true. So this is pointing to the inner thing. So this is happening with the progress Venus, but it's also happening. It's the main theme for the progressed Sun on the conjunction. Her IC is in this point. Her motivation is tied up to this. Her progressed Sun is coming to this on her natal IC on the progressed Sun. This is a familiar. This is the key to her integrity, and the progressed Sun is coming up there, hitting this same point, the same line. So the Venus is on the second level, is in the same point that the progressed Sun is in. So this is a message being hit home doubly strong. And then, so then the next hexagram 13, this is in the progressed Venus is going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back 4, 4, 3, 2. So it's going through different stages. So this 13 is a hexagram of fellowship with men. Let's just see. This one needs a different one. Okay, this one needs here. Winter.